It's the best way to start your NFL Sunday. Welcome, everybody, back to Sunday Morning Slants. I'm your host, Matt Watson, joined alongside Mason and Kyle. How are we tonight, gentlemen?
We're surviving.
Hanging in there. Living the
Hanging in
dream.
there is right. So to kick things off tonight, we're going to be talking about Monday Night Football and that devastating Eagles loss to the Los Angeles Chargers. I almost said San Diego. That would have been crazy. Big Chargers win or awful Eagles loss is kind of how you could frame last night's game. A last minute Jalen Hurts interception was the difference. 5 turnovers from the Eagles quarterback last night. We have 2 Eagles fans on with me tonight. So, Kyle, I'm going to go to you only because your background photo here for those watching on YouTube is a local Philly legend. I'm going to ask you as to why you made this decision for your background and how you're feeling overall about your Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, if you don't know the context behind this picture, that's Monty with the eagle flapping. And this was, I think, after the Cowboys game. They interviewed him, and he was distraught. And they're like, can we see the hat one more time? And then he distraughtly turned the hat on one more time so the wings could flap. But that's the vibe of not only me, but all of Philly and the local southern Jersey area is feeling, other than Matt, because he decided to be a random Broncos fan out of nowhere. Proud. But anyway, yeah, man. I mean, there's not really much to say at this point. I felt like early in the season, I'm like, oh, they're just working it out, new coordinator. They'll figure it out like they did last year. And then the weeks just kept coming, and the improvements did not. So I think around like week 8 or 9, I'm like, okay, this is just who they are at this point. And they continue to prove that right every week. You'll get the usual lip service from the head coaches and the coordinators and even Jalen. Oh, we're gonna go deep. We're gonna go deep in our bag. We're gonna turn this around, and then we see the same thing every week. So at this point, we're just hanging on for dear life and hoping this doesn't end like the last time they imploded. But in terms of the actual game itself, I think it's once again just the story of the season, where it feels like every play there's just one guy that doesn't do their job or messes up, whether that's a holding on a run play that goes for 20 yards or AJ with an uncharacteristic drop multiple times. Jalen, for some reason, deciding he wanted to turn into Nate Peterman out of nowhere. So it just feels like they're just one cog from being complete on every play. And compound that with the fact that the offensive play calling is pretty atrocious. They love running hitches for some reason when Jalen doesn't like throwing them, and they don't really do anything because teams are now just sitting on it. So if you're going to run hitches all the time, I don't know. But they do run more crossers. I did say last night, AJ's running across the field a lot more, which is good. I mean, that's where he's at his best, aside from the go route. So I think there are some improvements, but is it going to be too little too late, or is it going to be anything at all? We'll see. At this point, I'm just hoping they hold on to win the division so that way we can finally stop hearing about the no consecutive division winners for the last 20-something years or however long it's been. But that's where I'm at.
Fair enough, Mason. The other resident Eagles fan on this podcast tonight, I'll go to you. How are you feeling about your first place Philadelphia Eagles?
Yeah, first place. That feels great, right? Yeah, no. Yeah, I mean, Kyle pretty much summed it up. I think the big thing this year, where it felt like last year they had all those big Saquon runs and timely and kind of shifted the momentum in maybe games that they were struggling to get the passing going. Because, I mean, listen, the passing offense has pretty much been the same these past 2 years. It was just last year they were able to just ride Saquon. But, yeah, it just feels like every time they have something go their way this year, it's either a drop pass or a flag, and you're walking it back the other way, and it seems like they always just come at a bad time. Like it can't just. I mean, I guess there's never a good time to have a penalty. They're always seem like they're drive killers. But yeah, I mean, not having the run game this year, they can't get ahead of the sticks. They're going into second and third and long way too often. They can't sustain drives. So even when they have these nice plays, at least while I'm sitting there watching it, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, well, they're not going to be able to do that consecutively and get to the point where they're scoring. And earlier in the year, I mean, the thing that really kept them alive was that they were really proficient in the red zone, and now they just have not been. So I don't really know where we're going at this point. I mean, like Kyle said, and I'll say it again, they are what they are at this point. I don't think they're going to fix anything. The offensive line has been beat up all year. They haven't been able to put it together. I don't think they're going to at this point. I don't think the run game is going to improve. And at this point, I guess it seems like Jalen's really pressing. I mean, the last couple games, obviously with all the turnovers, usually he's a player where we say the one thing about him that we can rely on is that when the pressure's on, he shows up. And the past couple weeks, it just has not been the case. Yeah. Something else I was going to say, but I can't remember it. I'll pop in if I think of it. It's pretty much
I do think one other underrated thing that has flown maybe under the radar a little bit is last year they played a very physical brand of football, even in terms of like the smash mouth teams, where they put a lot. They had pride in the fact they would just beat the shit out of you for an hour, and they did that for 19 games. And I think it wore on them a lot. Like even Jordan said, usually his fatigue's gone like a couple weeks after the season's over, but he was fatigued all the way up to training camp and even a couple weeks in. So I think overall you'll see that, especially in the O-line. Like Jordan looks a little off this year. Obviously Cam and Landon have been dealing with injuries all season. Lane's out. Becton's gone. So like I think that's a big part of it. And while everybody has a role in the demise of the Philadelphia Eagles this season, I think when your identity is the run game and like enforcing your will on other people, and it feels like every other play Saquon's getting lit up in the backfield, I think how they played last year has a lot to do with that. So what I'm saying is next year we're going to wherever the Super Bowl is next year, we'll be there. I'm buying my ticket now.
Honestly, I kind of agree, though. I mean, we've seen it at this point. Like every single year that the Eagles make the Super Bowl, there's that next year hangover. Super Bowl hangover is obviously a thing. So I'm not saying that they're like completely cooked. I don't think they're just going to enter poverty at this point. I think they'll still be competitive. But yeah, I mean, it definitely takes a toll on you. And the other thing I was going to say is as we were going into the stretch before we're now 0-3, I think I remember saying on the pod that this stretch of defenses that they were going to face is something that could take advantage of and try and get the offense going. And clearly that's not working out. So just to reiterate the point, this is who they are because they have not been playing very good defenses and still just cannot get it going. So this is just, it's not getting any better. We're just going to have to hope that they hold on for dear life.
Well, I have the silver lining for you guys, and allow me to Mr. Positive to come in here. They still had a chance to win yesterday, despite having, up until the last possession, 4 turnovers. They went to overtime against a quality Chargers team who's going to make the playoffs. It was on the road. I know the Chargers don't have any fans, so there's really no home field advantage for them. But you still went on the road against a quality playoff opponent. And despite doing everything wrong offensively, you still had a chance to win the game at the end. I'll even point to the end of the end of regulation. Hurts throws a ball to A.J. Brown in the end zone. Perfect, right through his hands, and it goes right through his hands. I think most receivers should be able to make that catch, especially in a spot like that, especially for a guy who wants the ball at all times. If you're going to be a top 5 wide receiver, you need to make those catches. That right there, he scores a touchdown, game's over. And you're walking out of Los Angeles with a win. You don't feel great about it, but a win is a win. And there's just so many opportunities in the game for them that they could have won. I think the silver lining is, despite everything going wrong, they still have chances to win late. And you're not going to, obviously, if you put yourself in that situation, you're not going to win every time. But you still had the opportunity to. And I think that's something you could take away from it. You played like absolute shit, and you still nearly won. So there are takeaways. Coming from the Broncos, who play like shit every week, but find a way to win.
You convinced me. We're back. AJ defended Jalen. We're back. We are so back. They're going 3-1, winning the division. Yeah. Then we're going to, what do they be? The 3 seed. So they'll play probably either the Bears or the Packers or the Niners.
I think they're going to get the Niners.
We're going to beat the brakes off them. And then we're going to go into, it'll be the 2 seeds. So it'll be probably either the Rams or Green Bay.
Do we own those teams?
Whoop on them. Go to the conference championship. Whoop on the Rams, and go to the Super Bowl and whoop on the Broncos or the Patriots, and then we're going down Broad Street again.
Wow, what a 9 minutes and 40-something seconds. That's all it took for Kyle to get brought back in on the Eagles season. But they get the Raiders this weekend. The Raiders are actively not trying to win; like they are trying to bottom out. So I would expect them to put up an awful performance. I do wonder if Gino will play. He did leave the game injured. Kenny Pickett came in. Well, so yeah, Gino left the game with an
injury.
injury.
We lose to Kenny Pickett. You won't see me next week. I'm quitting. I'm quitting sports and I'm watching something easier to watch. I don't know.
Kyle's going to pick up light reading. But yeah, I think they're at this point. I just checked. They're 11.5 point favorites over the Raiders. If they lose to Las Vegas, Nick Sirianni will get fired. I'm not even like that. I won't doubt that he would get fired at that point. They would let Fangio probably run the team through the playoffs.
I feel like they like Nick because they can kind of control Nick. I don't know if they're going to get rid of him, honestly. And honestly, I don't know how much of the problem. Like, listen, I get it. He's supposed to be like the CEO vibes guy, and the vibes aren't good. But like, I don't know, man.
But they win football games.
His whole point is some stupid bullshit about discipline, and they're not disciplined. They play like shit. So I mean,
they have 8 wins.
But I just feel like
division. They're coming off a Super Bowl.
He has the success if you go and hire somebody. If you hire a good offensive coordinator, they just succeed. So like
he went into those offensive meetings and said, Jalen, I want you to force the ball where you haven't all season. That's how we're going to get out of this slump. I don't care if it's double covered. Just throw that motherfucker. I know we just told you to be safe with it. We're going to play good, solid tempo, disciplined football, but clearly we can't do that. So what we're going to do now is play like the Raiders. That's what he went in there and said, probably. So
that's a bold take.
I think he should go in.
That's the quote.
That's probably what he told me. That's what it looked like. I mean, I haven't seen something that bad since.
For sources, Kyle, do you have sources inside the Eagles facility?
Yeah, I have the same ones as Rossini does. So,
no.
Fair enough. All right, so moving on to another team who looks a little bit lost, and unlike the Eagles, I think their season is over. The Indianapolis Colts. Daniel Jones tears his Achilles on a non-contact play on Sunday against the Jaguars. His season is over. His future with the Colts likely in doubt. Like I don't know if his career might be over too. He's sustained a lot of injuries in his young career. Well, not even that young. He's been around for a bit, but it's looking like doomsday in Indianapolis. If you haven't seen already, Phillip Rivers has been signed to the Colts practice squad. For reference, Phillip Rivers hasn't played in 5 years. He is on the Hall of Fame ballot that's getting voted on like next month. He was quite literally about to be in the Hall of Fame, maybe.
Does that reset his eligibility?
Yeah,
it would reset his eligibility for another 5 years.
Crazy. That is, why is he coming out of retirement, bro?
I don't know.
Tom should come down from the booth.
He can't. He owns the Raiders.
He's an owner now.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to sell the Raiders.
Dude, he was pissed as hell too. He was like, "This is my chance."
He might hop in for the Raiders.
Yeah.
He might as well. He'd be better than what they've got, but he wants that first pick. But yeah, so season's over for the Colts. I mean, they don't have a quarterback. Anthony Richardson's still out with the orbital fracture that I think took place like week 1 or week 2. So
no,
he's
it was
not an option.
Warm-ups. Like week 4 or something. He like fucking, I don't even know what happened.
He wasn't playing when it happened. So the Colts, and I'm going to pull it up here. They have lost to their last 2, lost to the Chiefs, lost to the Texans. Oh, lost to the last 3 and to the Jaguars.
Oh my God, their schedule too. Woo.
They go to Seattle this weekend with no idea who's playing quarterback. They don't have a player's chance. Then they get the Niners, then the Jaguars, and then the Texans.
Yeah,
I don't even know if they're going to break 10 points over the last 4 games. I genuinely think they're going to lose. That would be 7 in a row to finish the season is what the Colts are staring at right now. They're going to miss the playoffs despite being the 1 seed 3 weeks ago.
Were they 7-1?
They were 7-1.
That's tough.
And just
Life
like that,
comes at you fast.
That's what happens when you bring a loser Jet onto your team. I mean, let's talk about it.
Yeah, they traded for Sauce, and the mojo went down.
Man, that's tough. I mean, the Colts just show how brutal the NFL can be and how hard wins are to come by. Unless you're the Philadelphia Eagles, then you do everything you can to lose the games. But, yeah, man. I mean, I don't even blame the Colts for going all in on Sauce. It was like they were best offense in the league. You looked like you had the MVP in Jonathan Taylor. You got to strike while the iron's hot because it seems like they knew that winning isn't easy. You got to capitalize when you have a chance. I mean, as we've said, maybe not on the pod, but the stalwarts of the NFL have sort of fallen off this year. The Chiefs are nowhere to be found. The Bills, they're still good, but they're not winning their own division. The Ravens are the Ravens. So the Eagles. Yeah, so like the NFL is wide open in a way we haven't seen since like who knows when. Like I honestly don't know if we've ever seen it this wide open because as soon as Brady retired, it was just Mahomes' league now. So like seeing all of this openness, I think the Colts made the right decision to trade for Sauce. It just went horribly wrong as soon as they hit accept. So, I mean, as a Colts fan, you can't feel great about this season just because you got so screwed by injuries and everything else. But, like, I don't think this is a case of, oh, they put all their chips on the table at the wrong time. It was just they got screwed so hard, and I feel so bad because I think they could have went somewhere, and Danny Dimes could have been the next big backup quarterback turned starter that went on a run. But instead, here we are. They're going to go home for the playoffs and not even have their pick.
Yeah, they're not gonna have their pick. They're not gonna have a quarterback because I mean, so let's say they re-sign Daniel Jones. He might be back at the start of next season. Probably, maybe he's gonna miss the first month or so. They already gave up on Anthony Richardson. I don't see asking him to come back, and two, I don't think he'd want to come back. In all honesty, I think he'd probably be ready for a fresh start. Who are you gonna go out and get?
You're tied to AR. Or
probably Kirk Cousins.
Who did Steichen work with who went to Oklahoma as a quarterback? Jalen Hurts, who has also been a Oklahoma quarterback.
Baker Mayfield.
No, who's a little short.
Kyler? You think Kyler to the Colts?
Who's Bryce Young play for? Alabama. Never mind.
Bryce Young played for Bama. Kyler, I think Kyler could go to the Colts.
I was thinking Red.
That's not a bad option.
Is he even playing right now?
No, he's not. He's out for the rest of the
year. He got a soft benching.
But it's more of a soft.
He was supposed to come back like 5 weeks ago, and he just didn't. So, I mean.
That's been better.
Or did they just decide to tank, essentially?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think Gannon's going to get fired, too.
Don't bring him back to Philly, dude. No.
Get a fire in his belly.
Yeah,
we're gonna gut these fuckers, and then he fucking sold the Super Bowl. Fuck him, dude. But yeah, Kyler Murray to the Colts.
That's not a bad idea.
That or they just say, you know what, AR has another year under his belt. Maybe we can get him. We can salvage.
Yeah, but what's another year under his belt? He's not even practicing.
Well, I think a big thing with him is maturity, right? Like a lot of this stuff was, he doesn't really take it seriously. He's not putting in the work. So maybe this year being because before he kind of had the keys to the franchise essentially. So maybe him being benched, him going through this whole year of just like probably turmoil because you've been probably lauded as a top prospect your entire life. And now all of a sudden reality NFL hits. You got to either reevaluate and progress forward or you just bust. And I think they're going to see if he make the right leaps mentally. And maybe they just go with him because he has the raw skills to really be something. He obviously hasn't shown it on the field necessarily, but I think they're just going to – because you don't even have the picks to trade for Kyler, really.
But with that contract, you probably don't give up much.
The Browns lucky hate Shador, bro.
As long as Stefanski is as the head coach, you have a chance at Shador. That's true. But yeah, I think this is right out with Anthony or AR because they don't have the picks. We're gonna do hamstring yourself even more with a high.
Yeah, but you probably could give up a fourth rounder for Kyler.
Yeah, but then you're taking on his contract.
Yeah, which I mean they're not
unless
paying
you sign him to an extension.
So you have the cap space, but I don't know.
I would not want to be the Colts.
I wouldn't either. That's a tough spot to be in. You went from literally because they're exactly where they just restarted, right? They're exactly where we thought they were at the start of the season before Daniel Jones came out and played like an MVP candidate. They're right back to square one without the picks and, in a sense, the disappointment of it. Because had they just had a rough season, nobody would have batted an eye. But they rose so high and now they collapsed all the way to the bottom. It's honestly worse. I would have rather just had a bad season.
They're going to get rid of Steichen?
If they get rid of Steichen, then maybe I can see Richardson going back.
Eagle.
Bring out the Howie Roseman meme.
Yeah, I think they'd have to pay him probably to like head coach money, I think, to go back.
I think after the season, Laurie would pay it.
He probably would.
Dude, he's already familiar. Did he coach Jalen a year?
Yeah, the year they went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
2 years.
Oh, it was 2 years.
Time.
Yeah.
the only time he's had two consecutive years.
I think that's the kind of move that the Eagles
Steichen
have a lot to think
actually-
about, but I think that's the kind of move they would need to think about is just some kind of either you stick with Patullo, which I know you don't want to hear, but I just feel like you need some sort of consistency.
No. One thing I respect.
So I think Steichen in that case.
One thing I respect Gannon for is year one. He basically walked into Nick's office and said, "You fucking suck. You got to let Steichen call the plays." That was baller. And then everything after that, he was kind of, but that was cool. He knew what was up. So I think if he knows what's up, then Laurie and Howie have to. I think this is the final year where they let him pick his own offensive coordinator. They need to sign someone like Brian Daboll. I think him, Big Dom, Nick Sirianni, Royal Rumble on the sideline every week. That'd be fucking sick. That'd be awesome because Brian Daboll has a little bit of a hot head too. So that'd be sick. That'd be awesome. And no one's going to hire him because he's such a hot head for our head coach. So you don't have to worry about him getting poached for like 5 years.
For a head coach. Yeah, he'll probably be a coordinator. You're right. So I don't know. Sorry, Indianapolis. That sucks, but better luck next year, I guess.
Or
3 years. So another team, I mean, we're talking about teams who it feels like their season's over. It's not over yet, but what the hell are the Baltimore Ravens doing? Like, how do you
I
lose
recall.
that game?
Yeah,
no, that's why it's coming from me.
I recall
Like,
someone taking a victory lap
for the last 3 weeks.
That's why it hurts my feelings even more because they had it right there. They got back to above 500 record. The Steelers were reeling, and I mean the Bengals pretty much eliminated themselves. They had it on a silver platter.
I think it's just typical AFC North shenanigans where you're just seeing who shoots themselves in the foot last, and that's who wins the division. So right now it's the Steelers, but we still got 4 weeks left, so a lot can change.
The bar is set at 9-8, and that's the bar.
I low-key think 8-9 might win the North this year. I think we're gonna get a division winner with a sub 500 record. So the Ravens, I know, have to play.
Schedule?
Well, I know they play each other the last week of the season.
The
Ravens have to play the
Dude,
Patriots.
that's gonna be money.
The Steelers do or the Ravens?
Oh, the Ravens do.
Dude, the Steelers have the Dolphins. Don't let them get hot. That's Monday night.
Dolphins making the playoffs?
The Dolphins are making a run. Will the
I
Dolphins
wouldn't play the
Chiefs?
Dolphins right now.
What's their record?
6-7.
I don't want to say it, but yeah. I knew the record, but I just didn't feel like saying that shit. So, but yeah, man. I mean, the Ravens are just. I don't know. Actually, I do know. It's Daniel Falele or whatever the hell his name is. He apparently is horrible, like horrible, and he just single-handedly makes the O-line look like shit. And then Lamar Jackson is just not doing Lamar Jackson things. But it feels like. I don't know, man. They're just this season is just cursed for them.
Yeah, I thought they finally had the momentum, and I thought that they were playing Ravens football again. And in the last couple of weeks, man, they've just shot themselves in the foot again. And it pisses me off because I doubled down on them last week in our playoff draft, which if you have not checked that out, go back to our YouTube or anywhere you get podcasts or our NFL playoff draft. But I took the Ravens in the second round because I thought it was a free points for the division. I was like, oh, that's easy. You get the playoff berth point. And then maybe they win a home game in the first round. And now I'm looking at like 6-7 points and we're chilling. But instead, now they're going to miss the playoffs altogether, which with the Colts being out at this point, the goddamn Kansas City Chiefs wiggle their way in.
Well, no, they need a lot to go right. And the Chargers winning actually screwed them. So fuck you, Chiefs. You're welcome. You're welcome, NFL. We're helping out.
We appreciate that. Although I was really hoping for the Eagles to win because the Broncos could have locked up the division next week. But alas. So yeah, I don't know. Ravens need to figure it out. The AFC North champion is going to be awful, but they'll probably still win in that first round. Like
not if it's Tomlin. He hasn't won a game in like 8 years in the playoffs.
That's true. Well, I think right now the Chargers are the 5. So you could probably beat the Chargers. If you draw Buffalo, whoever draws Buffalo in the first round, that's gonna suck. You're gonna win the division and then have to play Josh Allen in the first round.
It'll be the AFC South winner, the Jags or the Texans.
Probably will be the Jags.
Texans Bills would be crazy.
Well, I mean the Bills beat them with Davis Mills, or the Texans beat the Bills with Davis Mills.
Yeah, dude. I don't know, man.
I love the Texans,
but I think they'd be sick. I think they're my
This could be
Super
a
Bowl
bloodbath.
pick.
If there was ever a year for the 7 seed to make the Super Bowl, it'd be
No, they're
this.
winning the division.
We'll see. I don't know. Jags look good. Where's my my soundboard here?
Duval.
Surprised you didn't want to talk about the Chiefs.
What's there to talk about? They're dead. Don't speak ill of the dead.
You just said, I thought you want to take one last victory lap.
My AFC West champions hat has already been ordered, guys.
Dude, they got the Chargers, Titans, Broncos, Raiders. They're winning out. Easy.
They probably are winning out.
That's 4 easy wins. So would they be 10-7?
Yeah.
Yes, and that's
unfortunately they don't have a single tiebreaker.
Yeah,
they
no,
have
they're
the Colts.
Actually, they're screwed. They're screwed actually because
but
the
they
Bills
don't.
are obviously taking the wild card spot. The Jags will, and the Jags have the win or the tiebreaker over the Chiefs, and then the Chargers.
The last team. Yeah, no, they're not. There's no way.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
They'd have to have the 7th seed with the Chargers. That's it. That's
the Chargers. I mean, I don't know. The Chargers have Chiefs, Texans, Broncos left.
Oh, Chargers could lose out.
Chargers could lose. Yeah, theoretically. And I mean, Herbert played okay the other night. I think his numbers look inflated because of the 60-yard pass at the start of the game, but he played well enough to win. I don't know. Playing with a broken hand, the Eagles didn't really make him pay for it in any way. I would have stepped on
They
him.
had 7 sacks.
Yeah, but they didn't make him pay for it, Kyle.
Jalen Hunt did. He punched him right in the freaking hand. He tried to.
You needed to do more.
You want to come out with a hammer or something.
If that's what it takes. I'm trying to win the AFC West.
But yeah, man, because the Chargers are 9-5.
9-5. They
Chiefs
would have
6-7. So I mean, they'd have to lose 2, and the Chiefs would have to win out.
Yeah, the Chiefs have to beat.
No, they have to lose 1 because don't they play the Chiefs again?
They play each other this weekend.
Schedule too.
Yeah, so they lose 1, and then the Chiefs beat them, and then they're in. The Chiefs are in.
Yeah, Broncos have the Packers this weekend. They get the Jags,
Chiefs,
the Chiefs, and the Chargers.
That's tough.
Look, though, the Broncos might have a playoff spot locked up that last weekend to the point where they're resting guys, and the Chargers might get in off of that.
Yeah, the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Broncos definitely would do that. They'll let the
Oh yeah, I would rather if it's between the Chargers.
No, they won't have it locked up because of the Patriots. No, they're not going to have it locked up.
They might not have a bye locked up, but if
unless they drop a game and they know they're going to.
No, they'll play for the first round. Bo Nix can be out there.
Yeah, but if they're locked in at the 2 seed,
actually, who's your backup? Brett Ripien or whatever. Put him in. Actually, you got a better chance to win. Jared Stidham, you got a better chance to win him with Bo Nix then.
How do we have a better chance? We're 11-2.
Not because of Bo. It's because that sick ass defense.
I disagree. I mean
the
defense let up 30 points.
Trust me, buddy. I watch elite quarterbacks play every week on the Eagles. So
do you?
Tanner McGee on the sideline.
You want to talk about a guy who doesn't know what he's doing in the offensive play calling room? Is Sean Payton. I'll die on that hill. I might be the only Broncos fan who says it, but he is not. He calls plays like it's 2015.
Well, that's the last time he coached.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's when Bo Nix got into college.
It is. It was a redshirt freshman year. Hey man, 11-2 10-7. He's
throwing him back. What a year!
Yeah, we were 14. Last time Broncos won the Super Bowl. So stars are aligning, gentlemen.
Perfect.
Patriots Broncos AFC Championship game, just like the good old days.
Oh man,
all's right in the world. The NFC is going to be Seahawks Rams. Nah, Rams.
Nature is healing.
Seahawks Packers would probably be that era, right?
That would definitely be Seahawks Packers. Yeah.
Seahawks
That's
Packers.
a very possible situation. Instead of Russ and Aaron Rodgers, it's Jordan Love and
Sam Darnold.
Somehow even less aura.
That's like that. It's like that 2017 championship weekend meme.
Yeah.
It's like Brady, Foles,
Blake Bortles, Case Keenum.
What a lineup!
What a lineup! And it ended up leading to one of the best Super Bowls ever. So
yeah.
I only say that because the Patriots lost, but so I'm gonna tease the fuck out of this episode with the thumbnail. I'm gonna put like 7 teams on it and just be like the title I think is gonna be the season is over for who, and you'll have to guess by clicking
The
on it who the
Eagles.
season's over for.
It's over
it
for
the Eagles?
the Eagles.
The Colts, the Chiefs, the
Ravens
Ravens.
season's over.
It might be.
Actually, I don't know because they could always just lock in because they're not.
They could always just lock in like out of nowhere. Like if they beat, I think the Ravens play the Steelers. No, the Patriots next week.
Oh,
is it this week that the Ravens? Let's see, Ravens schedule.
Patriots game.
They get the Bengals this week. Patriots next week. They could win the next two, and everybody's like, "Oh, they're back." And
I hate NFL schedule makers. Why do they do these like back-to-back division games, like a week gap? Like I don't know why we can't fix that. I think it's so dumb.
Seems
like
it feels like everyone why you play these teams.
They're making predictions on who the top two teams are going to be, and then have them battle it out at the end of the season. But they airballed like with the Commanders, Eagles, play them twice in the last 3 weeks.
That they did. Big airball.
Cowboys. That would have been money.
So, all right. Yeah, that's going to conclude tonight's episode of Sunday Morning Slants. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Make sure to check us out on all podcast platforms as well as YouTube. And we'll be back next week with more NFL football. So appreciate everybody for listening.